And you don't want to do anything to alter the natural shape that Kinsei has already taken. It's going to take what's in mathematics what we call the paraboloid shape. It's the same shape as any pile of anything. You pile up gravel, it will take a shape, and the rest of it will run off. Okay? When you pile up snow, it will take this certain shape of a certain angle, and any more that you put on it will just run off to the side. Okay? When you see those structures out where they put salt in for the highways, that is the exact shape that pile of salt would take. That's why they make them that shape, so that there's no air pockets. They can fill it up, and it takes that shape. Okay? You've seen it right on the highway.
From the top.
Yeah. So they have this shape that they take. Okay? So don't flatten the top of the Kinsei hut. You know, once you get up there, don't start, say, I want the top flat or something. That's going to make it sag in the night. You want it to have that shape of an arc so that it, buttresses against itself with a good foundation, and it will stay up. Okay? After the 2 hours after it sets up, you start to carve it out. You get in there, and you carve it, and you leave the walls at least 1.5 to 2 foot at the bottom. They can be thinner at the top, but only about, about a foot. You want them still to be about 1 foot at the top. You carve this out by just a lot of kind of painstaking, and you may want to have somebody on the outside poking in sticks. Yeah, we actually take these little sticks, and we've got time to prepare. We kind of paint them red on the end, and they poke them in, and you won't be able to hear the person on the outside. So, I mean, it's as silent as a tomb in there, okay? So you'll have to have some kind of communication system work out where they poke the stick in for you to know how far that stick is in, and when you hit the stick, you've gone far enough, that you're going to start to, if you do tear a hole in it, you just patch it with sticks by just making some kind of a mesh system and putting snow back in there and packing it, okay? Now, something that I like to do then, and when we get everything hollowed out, is I give the snow an extra boost of energy from the underneath side of the pack by I take a quart of water in my camp stove, and I boil a quart of water inside the Kinsei house first up, as soon as we get it hollowed out. That puts all this hot steam up underneath the snowpack like this on the inside, and it glazes the inside of your hut. So now that if there is any dripping, it just runs down the side instead of dripping down on you. You've got it at enough arc like this, and it adds just that much extra heat to the snowpack to just solidify it.
You really good place when you do that?
Yeah.
You build one of these every night.
No, about several of them. Okay, and as we said, you get, the exact measurements that I've done is that I've done. It was a -37 outside, and it was a -5 with one person sleeping in the Kinsei hut. Okay, so it gave us, 32 Fahrenheit degrees by that one person's body being in there, warming it up.
Do you leave the little red sticks, the measuring sticks, do they come back out?
You can leave them if you want, but I mean, with the idea of take out what you took in, we always take them out, and that's why we kind of paint things red too, so that we can see them
So it
easier.
doesn't weaken the wall or anything?
Right. No, this little stick that we're using
Gotcha.
wouldn't weaken the wall, but
Okay.
you just want to take it out because that was part of when we were making these things. When guides are showing what it looks like,
Right.
things that you want to make sure that you took out what you took in. You guys want to take a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about shelters now again. Your choice of location of where you put your shelter is also very, very important. And you do not want to put it necessarily at the lowest point. I learned this from being in Alaska. We were in Denali Park, and there's lots of ridges and gullies and stuff like that. But if you put your shelter in the gully, you're going to actually have the coldest air come down on you. It just travels, the denser air travels down here, downhill, and settles. So you want to make sure that your shelter is not in the lowest place, that it's, just think of a fluid running as this cold air is running, and and get it out of the wind if you can, but out of the lowest place in the choice of your location of your shelter. A experiment that I wanted to talk to you about, which shows the influence of this black body radiation, because the snow is just a phenomenal substance and ice and things, is if you took, have you ever been walking on ice, like on a creek or something, or a lake, and seen a rock in the ice? And did you ever ask nobody's ever seen it? Have you seen it? No. But you've seen a rock in the ice, right? Seen a rock in the ice, Heather? Yeah. How did the rock get in there? No.
Did it burn its way out?
Yeah. No, not up, down. Black body radiation. You take a black rock, get a bucket, and freeze some water tonight, or when it's good and frozen. We're going to have several days below freezing. Get this bucket of water and just turn it upside down and put a black rock on the top of the water, or on top of the ice, and let the sun hit it. Put it out so where the sun can get it. In a few days, the rock will be in the ice, okay? And it will actually pop out someplace later on, if you can keep the ice frozen long enough. You can also, this is so subtle that you've all, I'm sure some of you have seen a leaf in ice. If you're going along a creek and there will be a leaf frozen in the ice. Yeah, it's picking up enough heat to melt in and go down into the
But
ice.
it continues to pick up solar?
Yes, it does. In the case of this,
And migrate down?
yeah, in the case of this black rock,
Day after day.
in the case of this black rock, for example, I know because I've done it. It's heavy enough that and as long as it's maybe not too thick of ice, I just did it with a 5-gallon bucket, filled it full of water, inverted it, put this on top, and the rock just made its way through the ice.
Just that much, it's just gaining that much solar energy.
Yes, and melting its way through. Right.